All right. So today's class we're looking at how to we're looking at hiring in the Web3 space, in the crypto space, from the eyes of the founders and builders in this space. Now, sometimes we assume assume what these founders want and what these builders want. You know that um, for every time that there is a project comes out, it presents an employment opportunity or several employment opportunities. That means the fact that there are plenty projects coming out literally every day means that there are opportunities emerging for different skills and talents. And the industry is beginning to recognize the fact that um, non-tech talents like marketing, community management, and um, every other one that doesn't require coding, that they are relevant, especially in marketing now, because you can build an amazing product. If nobody knows about it, only you will use the product. So marketing helps to connect your product to your target market. And then they begin to see the relevance of other skills like, project management, product managers, and all of those things, and the designers. And all. But there was time it was looking like as if it was just for the developers. But no, they're learning that marketing for you to make money from for you to make money from your skill, sorry, for you to make money for your products, like I'm talking from the angle of like founders and breeders now, it means that people are going to use your product. And if you have like features in the product that can make you monetize the product, that means you need users. So I'm saying this because there are increasing opportunities in the space, but there is a gap between the skills and the jobs, right? There's a gap. Founders are always talking about there's a little amount of talents that they meet their expectations. That's why today we're looking at what do these founders want? What do founders want? What do builders want when they want to hire? All right. So, are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um. All right. So now we're going to start with the first one. We're going to start with the first one. So now crypto is a very small industry, which in a way it's good, and another way it's also bad, right? Um. So that means your network. Now, this is to emphasize that founders and even this current job I have now was based on network. It was based on someone that I had worked with before. Of course, how did he discover me? He discovered me because I was always online talking about crypto. I was the female one, and the females then were not very popular in the crypto space to actually do crypto. It was mostly the guys. So that was like in 2020 when he discovered me. And so from then I worked with him then when he was this exchange came to the country. It came to Africa, and she came to Africa and he needed like African Nigerians and all of that. So when they finally started up their own company, he just came straight to me and said like, this is what we're building and we want to onboard you as our content writer. And that was also, first of all, founders look at their network. They look at their network, and it looks like the industry is saturated, but no, but it's not saturated because if you compare it to Web2, if you compare it to, excuse me, to the industry like outside the Web3 space, outside the crypto space, you know that even though it looks saturated, it's not actually. And so they look at their network to help them identify someone that can fill in a particular role. And after checking their network, so that means your networking, like your who knows you matter, who knows what you can do matter. Do you get? I went for an event this weekend, last weekend, and I went for an event last weekend, and people were just greeting me left, right, and center. People were just greeting me because of what they know me from somewhere. They know me. I do this stuff. They must have encountered me. And then towards the ending of like the event and all of that, of course, I was a speaker at the event, and um, when I was leaving the place, people that have been part of Valico community for like 2020, like I didn't even know the guy because you know how this space is now. So I don't even know what people look like. I don't even know if I know what Rose look like or Cecilia. Oh, the only person I know how she looks like is only Jennifer here. So you know that it's we're close, but just we're closely distant. That's the title of a movie I watched yesterday. We are closely distant. So we're close, right? But we're still distant in the sense that I know Cecilia is here, Rose is here, Blessing is here, right? Blessing I might remember because I think we've seen, but then that familiarity is not there. Right. So I met these people. I met this particular guy. He was one of my early earners in this space. I mean, when I mean early earners, like 5K. He got a contract giving like 5K at the beginning in 2020. And when he introduced us, I was like, I don't know you. I don't know how to place your face and everything. And now sending me a message, and I was like, oh, that's you. So there was this trio of seeing someone that was impacted by what we've been doing since 2020 till date. So now this your people knowing, I'm saying all this is because people being able to tell what you can do is very important. I know I've emphasized this over and over again, but I'll keep emphasizing it. um there's so much more you can achieve by network, and there's so much more you can achieve by putting yourself out there. Personal branding is no longer is no longer a an option. Building in public is no longer an option. Having a presence on X and Twitter, sorry, on X and LinkedIn, it's no longer an option. It's something you must do. Like, it's part of what people check. Like, they only want to do a background check on you to see if this is someone we can onboard. We are entering a part of marketing, or we're already there. That's called like team-led marketing, founder-led marketing, where if your team's presence on Twitter, a place like Twitter now, can help boost your product to a bigger audience. For example, we've seen projects, we've seen several projects that just because the team and the founder they were talking about it on Twitter, people got to relate more with the product more than the product's brand account. So if you're someone who is not on like who is not, of course, these things are not convenient, they're not conducive, they can be very draining. And sometimes you might even experience the imposter syndrome in the sense that you start saying, what if what I'm writing is not good enough? What if nobody likes it? What if nobody engages? You're not exactly doing it when you're starting, you're not doing it for the engagement, you're doing it for visibility. You are trying to show this is what I know, or this is who I am, or this is what I can do. This is the reason why. So yeah, this is you are trying to create your own network effect, and from there, when you begin to interact with other people on X, they'll begin to identify with you. Like it still shocks me to today. I still feel like, oh, sometimes I feel like nobody is seeing me. But then when I step out there, when I go for an event, I must definitely meet somebody that knows me from somewhere, and they come to reach out to greet. So it tells me that hey, I'm not even like I'm not even as out there as I would want to. But then it means that my presence online is working, right? So this is the call. So this is one the first thing. They look at their network. So if you're building in public helps you to even build network, because when you begin to talk to someone, just engage in chats. Like I just left a comment this evening about liking my yam and egg sauce and loving rice, and under someone's comment, and they commented, and we had all that like little chit chats. You're leaving tiny crumbs online. People are noticing you. And on X now, on Twitter, you can use your analytics to see how many persons, like how many, if you make a post, you can check like profile expand. There's something called profile expand for you to you check the analytics of each post, you can see if that post brought people to look at your profile. It's part of the statistics you can check. So that will even help show you that when you make a post, that post can push people to check, who is this person? They should check out the profile. So it's even a good thing that X is even tracking that statistics. So you look at the network. From there now, you build your own network, or you create a presence for yourself. Because if you don't know somebody that can refer you for your role, you should blow your own trumpet, so that someone can say, oh, I've been seeing that person online, or make a reference or tag you or something. So begin to build your personal branding, right? So we're starting something at Value Corp, right? It's just that we have this bootcamp that is coming right now. It's taking our time and focus, but part of this I want to offer in this bootcamp is internships, right? We're trying to get internship positions for people, top participants of this bootcamp, for people that have like the highest attendance. So try to get them internship in this so that it gives them, and they can now go there and wow those people and get the opportunity to be retained by the project. So we're working on it. I'm really trusting God that it comes true as we are planning doing it, and as we saw it in our head, so that it comes true, because we want to be able to connect people that pass through any of our courses to opportunities. So that's why we're starting up. We've not made an announcement yet, but we want to like do the behind the scenes stuff first, so we can ask and say that okay, we have launched our Balikop Talent Hub, so that hey project, we have vetted community members, and you can now home and who are you looking for? We look at our pool of vetted, because I have you guys now. I have people who are here who, one way or the other, have one or two skills they can deliver, who are passionate about what they do. So, and then there's a problem. There's a talent gap in the space, because, and then there's a hiring challenge where the hiring process can take a very long time, because people apply on websites, better than sift through people that applied on websites and all of that before they then find somebody that will now do the job. So I'm just giving you guys an insight into what we are doing, what we are working on. So this is one thing we're working on, and when we when we close this, or close as many projects as possible, it's going to be an extra value to people that are coming into Value Corp. So you're not just learning how to get a job. You will know there's a chance for you to actually be chosen or recommended for an actual role. I don't know if I still with me, Cecilia, Jennifer,
Yes,
Blessing.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now another thing that founders look out for, or builders look out for, they look out for someone who can work in a startup. Working in a startup is different from working in a very large organization, right? Working in a startup, it means that you have to be a self starter. That's actually one of the reasons why we added soft skills to this bootcamp, because we want to bring in people who are very like we already found one of our speakers. I'll talk on leadership and other things that would help you to grow, become stronger with your soft skills. Because sometimes you get the job, but your soft skill will not keep you or remove you from the job. Some people don't really know how to communicate in a workplace. Let's talk about a remote workplace. Some people don't know how to keep tabs with their co-workers, especially in a remote setting. And then some people don't know how to lead and all of that. So, and there's some people don't know how to be agile. There's a particular soft skill called agility in the workplace. So this is the reason why we are actually one of the reasons why we're doing this bootcamp, and we're including soft skills in the bootcamp sessions. So founders want to know that you can work in a startup. Almost every project in the crypto space are startups. I mean, how old are they? Unless the likes of Ethereum has been here longer than most. most projects are under 5 years. So they are startups, and building a startup is not easy, right? Sometimes you've raised funding, sometimes you've not raised as much fund as you would want to. Sometimes you're running on lean funds. Sometimes the competition is crazy. Sometimes every project is struggling for the same pool of people. The space is so fragmented that you have to find a way to make yourself stand out. So um, learning how to work in a startup, what it takes to be a startup, will make you stand out to these founders. Now, that doesn't mean that you should go to a place where they will drain the life out of you. No, it means you should be able to put your best foot forward in this project. That means you have to learn how to learn fast. Sometimes you can come into a role and what you know about your skill is completely different for the expectations of that role. Let me say, for example, now I might come to a role where I'm as a content marketing person, and maybe what they need, maybe I have all the skills, or maybe I'm very more proficient with blogs and all of that, but then I'm not so proficient on Twitter writing crypto content or thread, for example. You will need to learn fast, and learn fast by observation. So you have to um, learn how to move as fast as your team or as a startup you're working in, because they don't have so much time for you to, as they're saying, oh, we need to do this campaign. If you don't know what the word means, use your chat GPT. Ask chat GPT, explain this to me like I'm 5, like I'm 7, because you need to understand what that means so they can start executing immediately. So now it goes beyond what you know. You should be able to know how to learn. What you know might get you into the door, get you to the job. But being able to stay there means you should be able to learn what you did not know before very, very fast. And we're in an age whereby we have a lot of tools. I mean, we have generative AI already, like ChatGPT, that can explain anything to us. At least get us started on that thing, right? It can even give you sometimes a full course. It's just that you not learn during execution, you not learn the practical part of it. So that's one other thing that founders and builders are looking out for. So we've talked about two things. Network, they look in their network, right? So if you don't have a network right now that they can find you in, you build yours by building in public. And the second thing we talked about is knowing how to fit into a startup, making yourself to be a good fit for a startup. So you have to find out. So after now, you probably supported your former assignment. Okay, okay. I'm going to go on the assignment. So in this assignment now, you're going to find out, you can ask ChatGPT, you can Google it, how to, what are the qualities of an employee in a startup, or how to work in a startup, or how to be a good fit for a startup, and submit it. I really want to see the different answers you guys are going to submit, because it's going to really help you.
So I didn't get the question, man. The assignment.
Okay, the assignment is find out how to be a good fit for a startup, like how to be a good employee in a startup, how to be a good fit for a startup. That's the assignment.
Okay,
So
man.
it's going to really help, because almost all the projects in the crypto space, they're startups, they're under 5 years old. So that means a lot more is demanded of your skill than someone who's working in a company that has up to like 200 employees. If you're working in a startup, maybe like you guys are like 24 or maybe like 50, or it's sometimes it's not even up to 200. Unless you're working maybe like people like Coinbase or a global company like Binance now has lots of employees because it's very global. I mean, they usually have companies, they have branches at different parts of the world. So they are more than 200. So you can actually have very niched, like your role can be very, very niched. But when you work in a startup that has under 50 employees, it means that you have to know how to be a good fit for that startup. And one of which is learning fast and moving as fast as the company that employed you. Sorry, I want to note this. and take note of the assignments. So I can remind you guys to submit it. How to be a good fit for a crypto startup. Okay, so now another thing is being easy to manage. Being easy to manage. Be someone that everybody want to work with. Be someone that who is accountable. Be someone that is reliable. Like if you're told to do this and you're doing it, and if you're not doing it, you'll be able to say, "Oh, I'm not able to do this, but this is when I can do it." And this is be reliable, be dependable, be trustworthy, be someone that they will love to work with, and also be proactive. Be someone that can come up, be creative in the sense that some people don't like contributing in the workplace because they're afraid that they might give them the work, so they not stay quiet and not say anything. But please don't be like that. Don't be like that. Be someone who like say, okay, wow, want to do, but how should you go about it? Learn to think on your feet. That's why we even have Google these days. You can even Google something like, oh, you do want 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. So say, can we do this thing like this? Be that likable. Be likable, like be someone that can be liked. And you are liked when you are dependable, reliable, you're creative, you can think on your feet. Um okay. So are we following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Um Now sometimes now everybody might not fall into this circle because when they're looking out for when a project is building a first team, because your first team is very, very, very important. Sometimes the first team actually stays with the project for a very long time. Do you get? And if you're going to be part of a first team, that means you should be willing to give in some years to that project. But if you're going for like, if let's say you want to pitch, do a cold pitch to upcoming projects that you want to work with them, that means you should be someone that will be willing to commit their heart, their time. This is no longer you just doing your job. You have to love the project because companies have become like they might start having trust issues in the sense that um, the people they hire, if they leave them in the first year, it affects them. Actually, rehiring people affects project a lot because they have to fill that gap and all of those things. So be someone that they no nobody says to go and stay in a project for the longest of time, no. But you've been able to give into a project like 2 years of your life or up to 3 years of your life can also help you get another job in the sense that if you leave a project too early, it might give a wrong signal to other projects that you don't know how to stay one place. Do you get? So if you're a full-time staff, or let's say a contract staff or a freelancer, or something happens, but if you're going to give your time to a project, try to give at least 2 years. So it looks even look good on your resume. And also it doesn't look like this person, how long were you in your last job? You say, you said only like why did you leave the job? Unless your reasons are very valid, which is okay. Okay, so um okay. Now, when a project wants to hire you and that project is a startup, they want to know whether you've worked in another startup. Because the mindset, remember what I said before, the speed at which a startup runs is different from when the company is a very large company. So they want to know whether we have worked the previous startup. That means they want to know whether you know what it takes to be under pressure. You know what it takes to build one thing and maybe if it can fail and all of that. When I see all some of these airdrop hunters, right, and how they talk about project, I smile. When you build something, you will talk differently. I was telling someone recently that I can't I can't react the same way some people react to an airdrop because I've been on the other side of the mirror where I am part of a team actively building a project. I've experienced what it means to, in fact, I'm building Value Up myself, right? I've seen what it means to make plans and it goes south. So what all airdrop hunters see is they're just saying I hunted, and I just want to cash out, right? That's what they are saying, which is fine because they have their value, the value they bring to the project. That means they help the project test run the project, and all of those things, that's their value. But then it removes a certain level of entitlement if you've built something and you know what it means to actually build that and it goes to all manner of phases and grow. It changes something in your head. Now, this is not just 5 projects that are obviously out to milk their audience and all of those things. No, but founders and builders want to know that you know what it means to have worked in a startup, or you know what it takes to work in a startup. So that's another thing that's so that's why one of the things you are going to do. I think my 365 days, which I need to continue. I think I talked about different ways for you to like reach out and project. So startups can also be an easy way for you. You can easily get into a startup, right, at that beginning phase. But you should know what it means to work at a startup. That means that's why that assignments will really help you. Now, when you're joining a startup, sometimes they pay you token. No, they pay you stable coin plus equity. Equity, that's maybe it can be a token, like token equity from economies and all of that. And then they can add other things like maybe other side benefits like paid leave, insurance, all those stuff. So you should also know that it's also not a bad thing to have um, cash plus equity plus, because sometimes a startup might not be able to pay you, let's say for example, $2,000, but they can pay you 1,000 plus equity or $500 plus equity. So you also know it's not a bad thing, especially if you are starting. Now, another thing that you should look out for, even you, is it also help you as an applicant. The roles and responsibilities. Sometimes the roles and responsibilities you see are way out of the scope of the role. Is a red flag. Like I said, the fact that you are working in a fast-paced startup does not mean you are now capable of doing everything. Sometimes you see a marketing lead role, and the person is creating content, the person doing design, the person is now. It's possible to have all these small skills on the side because you can jump in and help your team or something. When it's called a marketing lead, it means that you're in charge of strategy and execution, not necessarily the things like creating the content itself. Like there was a job that came to my table. I was in January or so. Somebody, a friend of mine, somebody reached out to her for the role, and she was like, "I was better fit for the role." She told me about it, and so I put together the, what do they call that thing again? I put together what I can do for them. And I wrote, a lean team, a team of 4 persons, and what they would do. The feedback I got was like, oh, we're looking for someone who can. We're not looking for a team. We're looking for someone who can do everything. That means you're looking for a generalist. That means they're looking for one person. They're looking for a marketing lead that can do video, do content, do strategy, do every single thing, do social media, and all of those things as a marketing lead, do community management, everything. I said, yeah, well, That's not my plan. The way my life is going, I'm not planning to do that. Maybe they'll find somebody, or maybe they've already found somebody who can be that kind of generalist. It's fine and good. But you also knowing what you want. That's why sorry guys, our website is down and the dev guy is actually has been hard on it since last night trying to put it back up. So I wanted to refer you guys to the website, but the website has been down throughout today. I'm going to find out what's keeping it. But then that's one of the reasons why in the lesson in the course I talked about how to identify what you can do. Because knowing what you can do, knowing what you know, and knowing what you can deliver will help you. When you see a job posting, please, or we see an opportunity, please ask them what are their expectations. This is not on your side. Because on the employer side now, it's a responsibility to outline their expectations. And sometimes a project expectation is dependent on their needs, but it shouldn't exceed standard expectation of that role. So you knowing what is expected of your role will also help you to save out toxic ones, because there are toxic roles in this space. In fact, I think it was last month that people, the end of last month, people were complaining on X about how they complain about how employers are just doing dirty to their employees by creating like a very long sheet of expectations, expecting you to deliver on those things. And the human, like, that's a 4 person's role, especially for one person. So you knowing should be able to turn down roles, say, oh, I can't remove, like what I did. They're looking for a generalist. I don't want to be a generalist. Now, being a generalist is not bad. What the important thing is that what are those things I'm supposed to be doing? This just reminded me of something. When I was doing my MSc, right, there was someone that wanted me to join their team. And that time, of course, I've started running Valley Club at that time. And join their team. They brought me, they wanted to give me equity in the company, which I don't have a problem with. I like supporting startups because I know what it means start without funds, because you have to have funds now, start paying staff. But the fact that I'm coming in without just based on equity, there was no payment or salary. Now, you see the long list of of the expectations of me. It was over 70. Like, I was like, what's going on here? Over 70 expectations for my role, just based on equity. I turned it down. It has, no matter how much I wanted to like support that brand, because when you commit and then begin to fall short of your commitment, it has suddenly begin to look bad. And I already have a startup. I have Value Corporation. Value Corporation is a startup that doesn't have funding from anywhere. It's self-funded, plus self-funded plus earnings from our courses, which sometimes is not even like as sometimes it's not as often as it comes. And then sometimes we're running to like boot camps. This boot camp is completely free. We're running free boot camps. We are focused on it. So it's as if that revenue doesn't come in like that. So there's somebody wants me now to come and do 70 tasks. So those kind of things are like red flags. You should look out for them when you are so recruit takes a lot of time, yeah. That's why we are trying to start up our Value Talent Hub again. Now, another thing, so the fourth thing now is startups or employers or builders can go through recruiters to get people for them, or talent agencies. Now, if you're looking for a role, these are also keywords that you can use to find roles for yourself. Recruiters, you can help you to see who are recruiters, or global talent partners. Talent partners, if you type talent partners on X, you will see people who are talent partners, global talent partners. It means that they are helping projects to hire. You can see recruiters. LinkedIn uses recruiters more. X uses more of talent partners, or maybe HR or something. So these are like, so you can find out, that means they are connected. So Valicom is trying to be part of what we're working on is to we want to do something like that, so that projects can reach out to us to save them the stress, because hiring people is not easy. Putting out a job ad means that 1,000 people can apply, and you have to sift through those 1,000 people. Even if you're using ATS, that ATS to sift through resumes is still a hassle, right? So they need people who can do all that, take away all that hassle and just tell them, see, we've done this, or select maybe like top five, and then the company can now do their interview. They can do the interview, or even to go through the whole process and just send the person, say, okay, we found the best person for you. The person is best fit for you, and all of that. So since companies projects go through hiring partners, talent partners, recruiters, you too, as a person who's looking for opportunities, should also look in that direction. Beyond, so begin to connect with these people. Begin to, I think I thought last week I thought about how to um, start creating this connection and start talking. That's what we talked about last week. Okay. Now we've talked on that now. So now for you now as someone who's looking for an opportunity, always understand, ask yourself, why are they hiring for this role? Don't jump on, oh, a job shows up and you're like, or maybe you see a job opportunity and just want to go and send in maybe it's a content marketing role and you have a content marketing resume. The fact that you are a content marketer, or a community manager, or a writer, or whatever role it is, doesn't mean that because you already have an existing CV, you should just carry that resume and something like that. No, you should take time. A well sent in application is better than a half done, rushed application, right? So you should look at, oh, this project is looking for this, because right, even today said, as of today said, there are people that came to X, just wrote, we are hiring for this role, we are looking to fill in this role. They do that all the time on X. That's why you don't also depend on job boards, like all job websites for roles. You don't. So if you are terminally online, like how they call it these days, you will stumble into a lot of opportunities in the crypto space. So always ask yourself, why are they hiring for this? You can even figure it out. That means look at what they already have existing and find gaps immediately. Find gaps that you can fill, and then come up with solutions. What you would have done in your head. You can write it down somewhere and keep it. Because founders or people that will interview you, they would be impressed if they find out that you understand the scope of the role. Remember, all content writing jobs are not the same because of project demand or project needs. So they feel that, so in this crypto space, that they feel like the supply of good talent is low, why the job is more. And it's hilarious because every single day we have tons of people coming to Paris Club looking for, they just want to learn how to get a job. We have people always subscribing to our YouTube channel looking for jobs, right? So they're saying that the quality of talent is low. Why the demand is high? So there's feeling that supply of talent is not meeting, which is why we are running this bootcamp. Okay, we're trying to like, say, okay, fine. How can we help people upskill better, and so that they can be better talents and can meet the demand of these roles? Like every single day, I meet somebody talking about the fact that, oh, there are jobs, but there are not enough qualified people for them. I'm like, hello, there's so many people looking for jobs. We need to learn on the job. What are people saying? But they are sharing that this is what they think, this is their expectation. So that puts you in a place to say, how do I make myself good enough for roles? So now, when you're going for a role, ask yourself, if I get this role now, you've always seen job, if I get this role now, what will I do in my first week? What will I do in the first month? What will I do in the first 6 months? Already itemize it in your head, because you know this is the project. So it helps you to get started immediately. And it helps you to be liked immediately. I hope you guys are taking note of what this I'm saying. Now it's looking like, oh, this thing is tough. But if you look at it very well, even outside the crypto space, this thing I'm saying are still applicable outside the crypto space. But like I said, the reason why the crypto space is different is if I take the amount of project that comes out every day, it's mind boggling, because they are struggling for the same number of people in the crypto space. We don't have the amount of people outside the crypto space are seeing more than people that have come in. So that means the amount of projects coming out daily, they are struggling for the same number of audience. The space is so fragmented. Like we have thousands and thousands of blockchains, thousands and thousands of app chains, thousands and thousands of applications, just thousands of, like, lots of them, so many. They're even heading to millions of projects. But then they are still saying that talents are not enough to meet this. So the problem is not actually whether there are opportunities. The problem is we are either not seeing them, or we are not seen as good enough for them, or we are not visible enough to be found. Which is why I said the first thing at the beginning of this class, you have to make yourself visible to be found. So let me round up. So you can answer our questions, and we can continue next week again. As soon as the website is up, please, I want to start talking about opportunities that you've applied for, and I want to start helping you out with these applications, or start helping you prepare for these opportunities. So please don't slack. So now, let me just say this thing. Build a personal brand in this space. Build it, please. So one easy way you can even do this is identify communities of projects that resonate with you and contribute there. If you want to be seen, now this is an easy hack. This is the easiest hack ever. Like right now, I've decided that I want to just focus on consumer apps. That's wallets, social media, like centralized social media, NFTs, like gaming. Those are to that end users have to use to get quick value. And then RWA, this is the area I want to focus on. Decide on the sector that you want to focus on. Choose and commit there, Be known for that sector. Be known for someone who loves, who is very good at managing social medias of gaming products. Be known for that. That's the way to grow your own visibility. So I don't know if we got value this evening. And so, just like I said, the assignment is find out what it means to be a good fit for a startup, like from the employee or a job applicant point of view, how to be a good fit for a startup. So that's the assignment. Any questions?
Ma, where are we submitting it?
Send it to my DM.
Okay, ma.
So yeah. Any question or feedback? Okay. What's the major takeaway from today's class? Just let's give it that in 20 seconds or 30 seconds. What's the major takeaway from today's class?
Yeah, good evening, ma. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so before the takeouts, I would want to ask a question.
Okay.
One or two. Okay, so I wanted to know, are there projects that takes like people that are not all that qualified and then train them on the job?
Yes, it happens. Yes, there are. And the question is, how do you get into those projects? Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, see what I'm going to do, because it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm going to reply these questions with videos or or something. So, but what I'd like to do videos so other people can benefit from it. So let me write it down. But yeah, there are projects that are open like for newbies. But then when you say a newbie, like I don't like people telling me, oh, I want any job. No. That's why you must have identify a skill, and then you must learn the basics of that skill before you now go in. And that's why in that course, I emphasized on how do you even get to know how to deliver your job role? How do you get your first experience? Because saying you don't have all that experience doesn't really remove you from gaining the experience without getting a job. You can get experience without getting a job. You can build a portfolio without getting a job. Maybe that'll be our next topic. Maybe I'll do a video on it. So give me that question again so I can respond to it. 2 seconds.
I should go over it again.
Yes, please. The questions.
Okay. Are there projects that takes new people like newbies and train them on the job?
Okay, I'll respond to that question on this, but like I've already started answering the question. There are, but you must bring something to the table.
Yeah. Okay.
Startups are a good example, but you must bring something to the table. You can grow with the project, but you can't be complete, like maybe like a complete blank slate. You must have a skill, even if it's theoretically, and then you must start building your portfolio before you even get the job. So maybe I can explain how you can build a portfolio that gets a job.
Okay. Oh, I think it's almost time, but it's even time. But let me ask one more question.
Okay.
I think while you were speaking just a few minutes ago, you made mention of having a community manager's resume. I want to know, are there like, can a single person have different resumes like community management resume, content creation resume, and other kinds of resumes?
Yes. 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 Actually, yes. Even me, I have about the resume. I have resume for content writer. I have resume for product marketing. I have resume for marketing lead, because these responsibilities are different, and I have exposures to all these experiences. So I can't just, if I'm waiting for a growth lead job now, a growth marketing job role now, I won't put content experience unless it's required there. I will only target what are the expectations of a growth lead, and I will now structure my resume to be that. So right now I
Okay,
have
okay. Like, it's not advisable to like compile everything together in a single resume.
no, because they don't even have that time to read that thing. If you can put your resume on
Okay.
one page, you are good. That means two to three experiences on your experience, your education. You are good to go. You don't have time to start reading plain English. Just your skills, your education, your experience. You're good to go, and your name and your LinkedIn link there. You're good to go.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right,
Maybe I'll keep my next question for next class.
no problem. You can even drop to my DM so maybe I can do a video.
Okay.
That's
All
fine.
right. Sure.
Okay. Someone's raising up their hand. Please, can you drop the question in my DM so we can do a video to respond to them. Any other question, please send it to my DM. All right. So thank you all for your class this evening. Thank you for your time. And I do hope you found value this evening. I really wanted to know that you got value. I want your feedback. Did we get value? Say yes, yes.
Yeah, I got value.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Loads of it.
All right. Thank you very much. See you in the next class or in my DM. Please don't hesitate to ask me questions in my DM. I might take a bit of time to respond, but I'll definitely respond to you. Thank you. All right.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Bye
Good night,
everybody.
Ma.
Good night. Enjoy your evening.
Say hi
The
to
rest
the
of
Good
little
night.
one for me.
you will hear. You will hear.
Network is very nonsense.